Hello and good evening to America. Today we are going to speak on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This was a story that was written in 1886, long time ago, in Scotland, by someone called Mr. Stevenson, Scottish author. And this story caught the imagination of the world. So much so that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, that has become expression in popular culture and vernacular to show the two sides of the human being. In the story, Dr. Jekyll is a nice man, a noble, very respected person, and he comes out in his research a solution, some chemical solution, and when he drinks, he himself becomes Mr. Hyde, and Mr. Hyde is the bad guy. He goes out in the dark from the back door, and people see someone is a terrible person, and they trace him back, and he enters from the back door into the house of Dr. Jekyll. So when police come to find this person inside, they find Dr. Jekyll. And Dr. Jekyll will not do anything like this. So everyone is baffled by this. What is happening? How come? And the next day they find the same thing happening. Mr. Hyde is out again. So that is the story, and it has got some details. What we are saying here, each and every individual has got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde within them. One can say good and bad. In Greek mythology, there is the character Pandora. We all heard this word, Pandora's box, and Pandora in mythology. But Pandora, one name for her is Kalosh Kakosh, implying good and the bad, good and the evil. So in many cultures, there is this understanding, good and bad. In Indian culture, Sham Sundar, ugly and the beautiful. So there is one side, but we are trying to understand this little deeper. So-called bad is not that sometimes we become bad and we are angry and the rest of the time we are all holy. This message doesn't say that. This message says that at present, we are not Dr. Jekyll at all. We are experiencing, as a entire human race is experiencing Mr. Hyde phase. And Mr. Hyde, you see the extreme bad side of it, but he has got a certain range, hierarchy, what he's going to experiment with. And most of the time, he can carry on with the pleasantries and smile and all wonderful and good, and he gets his cake. To be seen as bad is not his priority. He wants cake, that's all. He's desperately selfish and ridiculously selfish. And as long as he gets it, he can continue to smile. When Shakespeare speaks, smile and be a villain, he's talking about Mr. Hyde within us. They can continue with this. So lots of pleasantries, lovely and so good, you are so good. And then he gets his cake. But if he doesn't get it by that level, he goes to the next phase, and that is a little persuasion. It is good to be nice to others. It is good to share. He goes to that second level, persuasion. Then it goes to the next level, manipulation. And then it goes to the next level, and that is bribe. He gives you gifts and he gives you chocolates, but he's expecting a cake back. So there is some he's giving, things. So if you see our society, lots and lots of pleasantries and gifts and cakes going all around. Those who are giving, they have to ask themselves, is there any calculation going on here? Or is it selfless? If it is truly selfless, why they have to ask themselves, why are they giving only to a certain circle and why not to the complete strangers? They may be, but just ask. If it is something like that, know that there is some calculation. You are expecting a cake back. And then Mr. Hyde is happy. So if even that doesn't work, it will go to the still next level. And that is giving threats and becoming a bit aggressive, but it can even take the form of violence even. Because all he wants is the cake, and if he doesn't get it by all his nicer, with smile, then he goes to the next level, and that is his uglier side that comes to the surface. And even if that doesn't work, then this still last level. He says, I don't want the cake, but you are not going to get the cake either. So he works to create a gang against you, and wants to see that you are in trouble in some form. That is his aim. He doesn't want the cake anymore. Some people use the expression, I will make your life hell. Here, one lady went to the court, and complained about her husband. And as a result of that, she herself got imprisoned because they both had done something, it is a driving offense together. But she herself got imprisoned for 1 month, but husband got imprisoned for 2 months. So it was worth it to get a revenge on the husband. So these are like, but in the process, husband lost his job, or he was in the house of parliament, so he lost his job. So she thought that was worth she going into the prison for 1 month. All of this is the manifestation of Mr. Hyde. Important thing we are saying here is smile and be a villain. That is what is the common side of Mr. Hyde. What is the Dr. Jekyll within us? To be given this title, Dr. Jekyll, within us, we have to see the authentic side. And that is the way we are made. We are kalosh kakosh. Kalosh is the positive, the good side. You are beautiful. And beautiful is not a pretense. It is not conditional. Beautiful is authentic and genuine. And how do you get this? How do you get this authentic goodness, authentic in virtue? To experience this, we need to know that we need nothing from here. Just needing anything, that puts us in the department of Kakosh, Mr. Hyde. To discover the Kalosh, the beautiful side, we need to understand or come to that space where he says, I need nothing from this world. That is what we call soul consciousness. When one is conscious, soul is conscious, and what we are seeing from the perspective of the soul. Soul knows that he is immortal. He exists forever. He exists regardless of anything. It is not that he needs air or he needs food, he needs some position. He needs nothing. He exists forever. And so everything is an extra gift in this circus. Nice, things come, things go. Even the body, it is nice, body is there, but he doesn't even need the body. In Sanskrit, there is an expression, Icha Matram Vidya. Ignorance of the word desire. So we all have the option to experiment with this for 1 minute, maybe half a minute, experiment with this, just to get a feel of this. That need nothing, and not needing includes no preference, no expectation, no conditions, complete independence. Just as if I'm looking at some star in the sky. I have no expectation, no preference. That star is on the left, it moves, it disappears, it appears. We are independent. Same is the attitude of the one who is soul conscious. He understands he is independent of this entire physical world. That's all. He needs nothing. Cascade of other reactions happen. And that helps him become completely free from selfishness. In other words, in our other mind, we have created such a complexity. People are greedy, and people are angry, and people are aggressive, they are declaring war for nothing. Just they have complicated their lives for nothing. And they literally become kakosh, ugly. At all internally, they themselves are experiencing that. Here you get a taste of that complete simplicity. You are immortal without needing anything. Everything else is a bonus, a gift. This second is a gift. This next second is a gift. He is appreciative of things. He knows things come, things go. At most, he's a trustee of this body. He's quite happy to take care of the body. But deeper inside, he knows he doesn't even need the body. He is safe. Somehow this the experience of being safe and secure, that is important for us. Ego, it is impossible to make the ego safe, feel safe. He is forever, feeling victim. And so the complexity comes. Soul conscious individual is not having ego. He is free from ego. He operates from that space. And as a result, he becomes authentic in his interaction. He needs nothing. Even if someone is, breaking things, spoiling things, everyone is creating problem to themselves. That is the way he sees. He himself doesn't need anything. They all are doing their things. He would rather help them prevent these problems, but he remains free. And his love remains real. He doesn't need to pretend to be loving. He doesn't need to prove his love, but he's loving, immensely loving. His happiness is internal, constant. Just the aspect, not needing anything, removes all the different blocks. And one discovers truly what the human beings are supposed to experience. We are not meant to just pretend to be nice, but we can be truly Dr. Jekyll and discover that noble side, deep inside, feeling that you got the best. More we become free from these desperations and desires and disappointments, you discover that you internally, you got contentment. Everyone is doing all these things, they are greedy so that eventually they will be content. But more there is greed, they never experience contentment. When you come in that space, you need nothing, you discover contentment, you discover peace, you discover these feelings of love, in highest feelings. Buy with all their gold. And once you have discovered this, experienced this, you realize this is the ultimate currency. You already you're lucky. You got the best at all levels. And even at a physical level, you feel every moment is a gift. He knows it is going to go. He doesn't want to cling to that moment. Next moment comes. He enjoys this gift of the temporary physical world without getting into complexity, without needing anything. He has the richness of the heart and richness of the head. We are using this image, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, but it is giving us an insight into the immensely beautiful side of the human being, which is all of us, and it is our right to experience Kalash, the beautiful side of ourselves. Divine. These words apply to this. Divine, noble, angel. These words are appropriate for this. Thank you.